feels like Top Esports picked right into it. Because Death Realm just means that the Yuumi gets separated no matter what they want to do, and you can even put the Misfortune in the Death Realm, soak her damage, while the Senna just kills the little Yuumi that's running around.
Yeah. And
fun idea.
Later game, you have 3 good targets. If you add in the Syndra, who can sometimes deal with you if she scatters you away, but it's hard to get away from a Mordekaiser. You're going to have flash. You're going to have E up.
Yep.
I do like the pick, just in general. The question is, life on Mordekaiser. Does this guy know how to play Mordekaiser? Is this like a practice
Was he in
thing?
the back room using the practice tool, working out how Mordekaiser works? Maybe. That's why he was subbed out?
Maybe this is their last stand.
Maybe they actually do have a hyperbolic time chamber, and he spent that amount of time, but it was actually 3 years. Let's find out as we hit the rift. I'm now just imagining Life reading his skills and stuff like that. What does this champion do?
Yeah.
All right. Well, once again, we've got the grasp on the Senna, going to be going for that first item, Frozen Mallet.
Yeah. We were talking so much about the Mordekaiser bot lane that I forgot to mention. Well, this is something I wanted to talk about is Lucian so far in this tournament and in recent times. Seems to be cursed.
Yeah.
Nobody's really doing well on Lucian. You pick a top for counter
only
matchups.
Was it only the Shy that played it?
Yeah, but I think he played it twice.
He did play it twice, yeah.
And it just seems... I mean, this is... I have this kind of stigma from back when Griffin was trying to funnel Lucian in the mid lane.
Oh, God.
And
Don't talk about funnel Lucian.
It's not... It's... Okay, first of all, it doesn't have the range. It doesn't scale that well compared to some other funnel-worthy champs. And then after that, it started, being put in the top lane, in the mid lane solo, and I feel like it's better in the mid lane, just like as a semi kind of like assassin. You can do some damage. 369 is already trying to, set the tone here. I'm just really not a big fan of Lucian in the top lane nowadays, and it has not had much success. I will be happy to be proven wrong if Rascal wants to really, turn up the jets here.
Yeah.
With everything on the line, but not a big fan.
I really like this adjustment here out of Top Esports. They actually sent Karsa immedially to the enemy blue buff instead of finding out that he's lost to camp, as once again Clid has stolen a buff away. We do have Rulian Life struggling just a little bit here, but at least it's King of Clubs Mordekaiser, the best Mordekaiser skin in the game, being employed by Life, so he doesn't know the right skin to use. Maybe that means good things here for the bottom lane.
He's been playing Mordekaiser in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber for 3 years.
That's
you would
true.
hope you would know the right skin, right?
I actually don't remember in Dragon Ball Z how long a minute was worth in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber.
I've never seen that show, so
yeah. I wasn't.
You're asking the wrong guy.
I wasn't asking you a question, Brendan. I knew that you weren't going to quite be with me there. As we're looking for a dive onto 369 potentially. That's a double tap. Gets him down to about 100.
Lucian.
It's working out.
Some value.
Ruler moving on over. Spots out that Bertha's taking a bit of damage here. They do have the vision of the area. As, okay. See where the Ardent Blaze is actually going to come in. I believe 2 points in the queue instead. As we got to dive bottom lane. Ruler gets exhausted, but Life's down here. Gets the passive, and we get a teleport out of BDD as well. JackeyLove gonna flash, and there's the You and Me to get yuyanjia out of there. 3 summoner spells down for the bottom lane of top. And Clid now moving on over to grab himself his first mark. Rolled pretty well here, as you saw that Karsa was in absolute perfect position to lock down the southern Rift Sky.
That's going to be good news for Clid. Getting off on the right foot, and it's pretty good news for that top lane. If you are going to play Lucian, you're doing it in order to win lane hard, right? They don't go for Ignite anymore, which I think is probably a good idea. But it's still a similar idea. It's the same reason why you would pick a Quinn or something like that. You want to win lane hard. Quinn has a little bit more roam potential, obviously. And That's what he's going for. So he gets a good start. He goes back and picks up Cull so that he'll have a nice little spike here in the mid game and hopefully try to flex on the Gangplank before he scales up and gets too many items. BDD teleported bot lane, so he falls a little bit behind in the mid lane. You can see he's down a little bit on XP, but he's going to hit level 5 here, so it shouldn't be the biggest deal in the world.
Yep, just clearing out the minions as they head underneath the turret. Karsa turns up towards the bottom side. Clearing out his Krug camp, now thinking about just getting himself a back. First back's coming in here for the bottom lane of Gen.G as well. Kindle Gem complete here for life. Looking like it's going to be the Proto Belt. Relentless Pursuit getting Rascal away from the barrels. Let's see whether BDD can have a better time this time on the Azir. Whether the rest of his team is going to enable him. So far, no first bloods have been fed to anyone. No successful ganks just yet, as Agatha might prove to be the place that the first blood is going to go down. But you can see Rascal with a lot of pressure being put on here. And Clid not going to be able to just walk over and collect himself a mark. And here we go. Clid does have level 6, but there's the Unleashed Power, the flash forward. Scatter the Weak does come down, but Clid should be able to lock this one up. Yep, last auto attack will do it. That's first blood, and BDD not going to fall this day.
Yep, that's BDD on the Azir, able to set up the kill. And he knew the ranges. It's really important to know, you know, if you're going to be low enough health to die to the Unleashed Power from the Syndra. He knows that he's able to get in there with the extra shielding. And he flashed as well to set up the Emperor's Divide straight into Clid, who does pick up the kill. Notice that Knight did not flash. So he says, hey, you got me. I'm dead.
Yeah.
And that's also, you know, it's a good skill to have, to know when to flash, when you have actually a real chance at escaping, and when you don't. And in this case, he absolutely did not. The second the Emperor's Divide hit, he was dead. Had he flashed over the Emperor's Divide, he probably would have lived. That was not meant to be.
You can see our ruler goes over. Doesn't actually spot out the fact that this Cloud Drake is being taken down. You can imagine Gen.G not too worried about that one. Shirley has already gone down somewhere. No, she hasn't spawned yet. Sorry, Shelly. She's going to be up in a minute. Getting a little bit ahead of myself.
You're a little bit excited.
Valdez. Because the games have been so accelerated, I'm expecting now to be like the middle of the mid-game.
Yeah.
Based on percentage of game played, you know?
Should be like 11 kills to 3 or something. One team just getting totally dominated.
Yep.
That's the way it's been going today.
Not this game, though. This time, Gen.G do have themselves now a 800 gold lead. I think this is like the first lead they've had this semi-final. As, okay, scatter the weak go wide. Possibly a bait for Karsa. No, Karsa can go back. Raptor Camp available with a mark here, as Clid is going to use that as a possible bait in order to steal away this blue buff. And as you can see, Clid has fallen behind just a little bit when it comes to the camps, but I think has been able to pick up a little bit more money around this map. Blue buff probably just going to be traded here. Karsa doing a great job of making sure that he's just taking everything where Clid isn't.
Just getting into space and getting ahead on farm. Because of that, this bottom lane is having a little bit of trouble. That Yuumi is in a wonky spot.
Yeah, exactly. yuyanjia not actually having the You and Me back available until the very end there, where things were starting to get dicey. W utilized there from life to keep himself alive and pulls that health back there as well. As now 369 gonna have to get away from the teleporting Rascal. And all right, he's got the culling. Remember, this could be a very dead Gangplank. Has to flash. Eat some oranges. Rascal going to hold on to his flash to make sure that he can have all of the control of the top lane. And this is a much better performance out of Rascal. Currently 25 CS in the lead at 8.5 minutes. That is huge.
That's exactly what you need to make this top Lucian worth it, too. So it's...
Oh, yeah. This is like almost bare minimum
Yeah.
how much domination he needs to be doing.
It needs to be like a Jace, someone who can dominate lane really hard. And that's really good news, as JackeyLove a little bit late there on the TP, not quite able to get there on time. That leaves Life all alone to get some plates. And things finally are beginning to look up for Gen.G.
Yep, Life utilizing his Demolish for the first time as well. An interesting rune choice. As 369 turns up towards the bottom side, he's like, yeah, this is the matchup I was looking for. Oh, baby. But I don't. Life probably going to go back home relatively soon. He's going to do so on a ward. Might actually get stopped there by 369. But no, both of them just going to go back home. As Rascal avoids JackeyLove right here. Ruler turns up. And look, husband and wife reunited here towards the top side. For all of you lore fans out there. And it's Heartseeker Lucian as well. He's dressed for the occasion. Ruler, go sit down. He's got the table. Go sit down.
Oh, date denied.
Yeah.
Senna's angry.
He's in the doghouse. Oh, sorry, Rascal. Okay. Piercing Darkness comes in there. Ruler down to about half health. Because he hasn't quite finished his Durham's Fist yet. Wants to be stacking up that Grasp of the Undying as much as possible. Or, of course, something that is very doable on the Senna in this particular lane because you want to be firing out autos all over the shop. Knight going to be rotating up, not spotted here, and Clid's going to go back home. And Karsa spotted on a ward. I believe Gen.G may have thought that one out. As you can see, 369 doing his best to try and find some sort of money on this map. Croak Camp's going to be the only real thing that he can look at right now as Rascal pushes another minion wave towards him. Almost 11 minutes into this game, so we still have 3 minutes left on these turret plates. We'll see whether Rascal can get any more of them. And I think that Clid probably going to head towards bottom lane to try and get those plates onto Rascal and solidify that advantage that he's built for himself so far. As in goes BDD, maybe that's how they're going to do it. As there's the flashes, but Rascal... Oh, what? They want to give the kill to Clid, I guess? Free marks? I don't know. Respecting Knight's like teleport.
Yeah, looks like it.
In goes Clid. He will have the ultimate and throws that one down. Gets himself the extra little heal here as he jumps out of the way. Oh, that was very close to the Dawning Shadow. Not quite enough, so they trade 1 for 1 in the end. Mark secured for Clid. Might push it over that just a little bit. But also, I believe Clid, yeah, still does have Eye of the Herald and wasn't able to actually put that one down in time. He might actually have to do it pretty soon. As JackeyLove turns up into the mid lane, he only has a third of that cooldown there.
Maybe just run down mid.
Yeah.
Plop it down, hope someone gets it. And yeah, that was actually, it looked really strange. Rascal just not autoing. I'm like, man, he messed up. I think he just missed his auto. But it was actually just, in a weird way. Yeah, it was giving the mark over to Clid, and it was pretty obvious when we saw Clid just like running straight at him. He's like, no, give it to me. And it was a good play by Knight too, by the way. He waited until the obvious ultimate needed to be used, and then he went for the flash ult to secure the kill. As he did, in fact, drop that Rift Herald down mid.
Yep, had to get to the closest lane possible. Thankfully, BDD did have the lane in the right spot, and they did manage to get that plate gold. 1,000 gold now in the lead here for Gen.G. We have a look at that bottom lane yet again. So let's keep our eye out on what happened here. Is the flash from
literally
Rascal was
doesn't auto.
Yeah, it was very weird. Oh, that actually might have been ping.
Yeah, no, I think absolutely.
They canceled the auto attack.
It was just like the communication came in a little bit, late, because obviously it's just, really in the moment. Clid's probably shouting it over the mic as Rascal's just trying to secure the kill.
Yeah.
And last second he's like, nope, okay, hand it over. And that means I want to take a look at how many marks he's got. That would be nice to know.
He had 2, I think, actually. Did Clid? Although we'll have a look yet again, as it's pretty small, so maybe I read it wrong. Looked like 2.
Might have been 3. That's close.
Maybe it's 7, who knows? Not 7, guys. Karsa, he's been marked up now. We're thinking about trying to knock him down live. He's going to proto-belt himself out of the way. It's JackeyLove, just going to see if he can get a few extra turrets with another 15 seconds remaining on the availability to do so. Ruler turns up, and he does get a little bit of extra money there. Rascal also trying to do the same thing. 5 seconds to try and grab that last one. Doesn't get there. And so the Lucian does still have a 40 CS lead, so he's very strong. Blade of the Ruin King already in hand. But didn't manage to get extra plates and hasn't been able to find any added advantages after his initial work that he was able to get done. I think this is Gen.G back to their vision control prowess, though. And that is definitely good.
Yeah, they're controlling the map quite nicely. They have winning lanes in most of the lanes here. Obviously, Knight has been able to mostly step up to the plate up against BDD, except the one time he died. Sun gonna come in here and deny.
Yep, cast a curse there by Brendan Valdez, but BDD does get out alive.
Nice.
Nailed
So
it.
he'll get out.
Another mark comes in, as
Wow.
that is 3 now.
Waltzes on up and just steals it.
See where the next one is going to be. Lots of pings out from Gen.G, knowing exactly where the members of Top Esports are, as JackeyLove gets his back stopped there by Ruler. And Ruler and Life will shove this minion wave up. And lots of pressure here for Gen.G, and lots of vision control at the same time. I actually really like how they're playing this one out, because it's not just mindlessly shoving, like we've seen from some other teams. This is shoving up when you know where everyone is, so looking good. Although maybe he doesn't know where Knight is. Going for the lane gank on the Syndra, and Cannon Barrage going to help him do that as well. 369 going down low, has to flash, but still another kill for Knight. And Top Esports showing exactly what they want to be getting done this game, which is feed Knight, allow him to carry. He's on Syndra. He can tell someone that they're not allowed to play the game.
Yeah, and this is one of my issues that I have with Lucian, is his range, where it's like, if in a team fight, you're going to try to get in range of a Syndra, MF, barrels in your face, pillars in your face. You have the one dash, yes, and you can double tap crit, yes.
Yeah.
But after that, it's like, you know, are you just going to stick around? You're an AD carry. You're very squishy. Maybe a little bit less squishy than, you know, a Twitch or something. But
And also, after that all happened, Top Esports re-established vision control topside and took a free outer turret in mid.
look at that vision up on the top.
There was a brief amount of time where Gen.G were looking much better. Is now Life going to put JackeyLove into the death chamber. Let's see whether he can win the 1v1. Currently, even on levels, lands the obliterate and will be able to lock down that 1v1. Now Life trying to get more, but he's not going to be able to. It's a 1-for-1 in the end, but make it a double kill for Knight. And yeah, it might have been a better looking game here for Gen.G, but Knight still exists, guys. And he is ready to take even more names. 4-1-0 now on the Syndra.
He's ready to roll. As the second the Mordekaiser popped out, he was right there on that, you know, the red dot. That is the Mordekaiser, was able to combo him and then follow up with an easy kill onto the Senna, as we do have the Mountain Drake up here. Mountain Drakes will be quite nice for actually either team in this game.
Yep, Karsa thinking about trying to get a steal, but didn't have a blast cone, didn't have a flash, not going to be able to get there. So
doesn't the pillar do 1 damage?
It does.
Maybe he tried to steal it there with the pillar.
There you go. So Life flashing onto JackeyLove here. Was able to lock down this kill in the end.
Yeah.
But 2-for-1, not exactly what you want.
It's kind of like basic Mordekaiser stuff, but the second he comes out, you can see Knight is already so much damage.
But Clid was unable to save Ruler,
Yeah.
so
that should have been a save for sure.
Should have been an ulti for ulti, but instead it's a kill, and the ult's still on cooldown for a considerable amount of time for the Lance Respite. Oh, ping.
That feels bad. Yeah. So I still like Gen.G's position here, especially if the Kindred can get a little bit more fed, but they're looking down the barrel of a really fed Syndra, who, by the way, looks like she's going Spellbinder.
Yep, we've seen this actually a fair bit out of the Chinese Syndras,
Yeah.
LPL Syndras.
And she has 8 stacks on the Dark Seal, so that's also
another
really
Magi's.
nice.
That's another Magi's.
I think so.
Seen so many of them. Life uses the Death Chamber to try and go 1v1 against Karsa. Subjugate makes that a really rough task here for the Mordekaiser, who doesn't have flash, and he's not going to have his life either. A little bit delayed, but they feed the 5th kill over tonight as BDD is taking down the top lane outer turret. So Gen.G do retain their gold advantage, but Knight is still a one-man army. And when it comes to gold efficiency, you should actually just give it all to one person. It's the best way, especially if they do AoE damage. Now Clid Trying to dash away here as Rascal throws out the culling. Karsa taking a lot of damage there, but Zoomies should be able to help out. We'll be all right.
Once this game comes along, the culling is going to be like tickling anybody who's in the front because Yuumi just hops up to the front, heals them, probably gets them out of range of the entire culling, and refills the health bar.
Also shields for so much as well, with not only Bop and Block, but also the Athene's Unholy Grail, which has been picked up. So
that was a nice ult by JackeyLove.
Yeah, clears out them anyway. They do take the turret regardless. Gen.G will now move towards Shirley. 3 control wards as well. Cash money right there.
Ash certainly rules everything around them, as they are ahead 200 gold.
Yes. Value.
Feeling good.
That's control ward money right there.
They just run straight at Mordekaiser. They're like, Azir's top. They probably saw the Kindred moving top as well. And they're like, no, we can just kill him. It was just straight up running at the enemy and saying, you can't get away from us. They have really incredible pick potential with Trundle, Yuumi, Syndra. That is, you know, if they're able to get near anyone, especially like in a mobile champion like a Mordekaiser, you can just straight up lock them down. And there's not much recourse for them unless they have some allies around and they're ready to go and fight.
Yeah. I agree. And Rascal now looking to see whether he can try and save this top lane out of turret. Knight up here is a very scary prospect. As there's no mitigation for the burst damage out of this Syndra. They do just straight up lose that top outer. That is going to put Top Esports in the lead for what feels like the first time this game. But it does feel like control of the game has switched almost entirely from LCK towards the LPL.
Yeah, we've crossed the sea, moved over to the other region. Take a look at this. Grand Canyon. I mean, it's not much of a Grand Canyon. It was about...
No, it's a bit of a river.
2,000 gold. Yeah, it's like a creek.
Yeah.
And it's gone up now to flat land, basically.
We'll see how big the mountain is, I guess. Or whether it's just a little island, as we might find out right now. There's the final chapter. Good ulti comes out from Clid, but is it going to be enough to actually save them? As he does flash to get to relative safety. They use a lot in order to disengage. As now BDD down to half health, has to flash to escape. As now Ruler looking for more. Not going to get that snare. Make it rain slows him down. Rascal, full health off to the side, but he can't go one-man army. And, okay, Ruler's actually much safer than you might think. Culling is going to deter the members of Top Esports, but as you saw, they just took it in a turret whilst doing that and got almost every summoner spell out of Gen.G. We're now moving over towards this Mountain Drake to look for their second. Top Esports with the same idea, teleports across the board. Some big ultis now on cooldown here on top side, but Unleashed Power still there for Knight. He is definitely still the carry, and he's looking to get that flanking position. Does so after the teleport. Clid has no ulti. BDD misses his onto Knight, who throws out the Unleashed Power, and now looking for the 1v1 in the back line. Blast Cone is going to separate them from this Mountain Draker's life. Puts JackeyLove once again into the death realm, but the 1v1 is won this time by the Misfortune. The Azir falls down to Karsa's damage, and it's now soul point for Top Esports, and it's already match point for them as well.
I mean, I'm getting chills looking at the way that Knight is playing here. It's like he's getting powered up. The more games he plays, he eventually gets that unleashed power here with the Syndra in Game 3. He just owns that backline with a really beautiful flank. He comes in with the TP, and man, he was really one of the big catalysts for why they were able to win that one.
Rascal. Get him, Rascal. I reckon you can do it.
Good job, Lucian.
Well, I mean, Clid is now at least in position. He might be dead. No, he's not dead. Baron also not dead. Rascal's dead. Ruler not dead. Final chapter gonna land. Ruler dead. Baron dead. Ruler not dead. I told a lie there, but Baron is dead. And 8 kills to 3 now. 4,000 gold is the encroaching lead from Top Esports. And they'll probably use this Baron to make that far more.
Just look at this. He comes in with the TP down the bottom side. They have no idea. They have no idea. The double stun flashes the ultimate, gets BDD low. He essentially 1v3s the team, and he gets multiple people out of the fight. BDD, credit to him. His mechanics nearly are able to, make the best of a really hard situation there. And at the end here, I mean, Rascal, he's trying. But again, the Lucian here not really able to do too much. And I was talking about the pick potential. I actually forgot about Gangplank's Cannon Barrage. Also a fantastic way to get people that are just out of range.
Yeah, the zoning.
Yeah, you can zone. You can slow down a big portion of the team just to get them in range of a pillar, of a final chapter, and all this good stuff. So I really love the comp here from Top Esports. They've really just been playing better League of Legends today than Gen.G, and I also feel like Knight is kind of like ascending to a new level that maybe, you know, I guess it's really, really good stuff to see.
Now we get the Knight versus Doinby rematch. If this is going to be a successful win for Top Esports for our final, it's also something fun to watch, right? If they're going to win MSC, they probably want to go through the 2019 World Championship mid laner. That's exactly what Doinby is. So Top now pressing down on the inner turret. This game isn't over, but it's feeling very close to it. 5,000 gold is the lead. Next Mountain Drake in 2.5 minutes with Top Esports. Thinking about something else. BDD now looks for his ulti. Not going to find it onto JackeyLove, and he immediately just dies. It's an R button press from the Syndra that just denies the life of the star mid laner of this team. And speaking of denying life, it's done again as Knight gets put in the Death Realm and shows them that yes, it's a Death Realm. Just the other way around, life. We apologize. You can't be life and then have an ability called the Death Realm.
It's not the life realm,
no,
that's for
not.
sure.
Yeah.
Even though he's the one casting it. 24 stacks on Medai's, and this might, you know, we might have 24, 25, 26 at this point if they continue with the push. And it might be just a total blowout of Top Esports over Gen.G at this point.
Yep, they're going to need that as my OCD demands it, but they're not going to. Going to break open the top inhibitor turret, take down the inhibitor, move themselves back, play this one by the numbers. Let's have a look at this one once again. As BDD, he was spotted out and then thought, well, I guess I just have to go, right?
Yeah. Unleash power straight to the face.
No! Life saved JackeyLove's life, actually, by putting him in the Death Realm
really?
because it denied the ultimate, the Emperor's Divide.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he denied the damage of Emperor's Divide by
bad,
putting him in the Death Realm. Oh, it's a real disaster.
At least he died anyway, but
it looked
he
like
could have saved the Death Realm for someone else.
It looked like he was OP Karsa, actually. Like Karsa that actually like is untargetable and walks through walls and things like that if you press W. That's what it looked like the Misfortune was. Absolutely not what Misfortune does. It was definitely OP.
Spellbinder, hello.
Goodbye.
Hello. Legendary, by the way.
And
as he started off 0-1, remember he got dunked by BDD. Kept this cool. He's like, I don't have to use Flash. And now he's 8 kills in a row, 25 stacks. 4 items, essentially. Yeah. The guy is just smurfing right now in this game.
Just a monster. As Top Esports push through this inner turret on the bottom side of the map, BDD probably not wanting to move too close here to Knight, who's very close to getting that death button back available yet again. That's what the ulti is. He presses that at any point, and the Gen.G player of his choosing dies, unless they're near Clid with an ulti. And now, Mountain Drake is going to only further solidify this advantage. 6,000 gold the lead for Top Esports. Kudos to Gen.G. They might make it 30 minutes, but that's the highest accolade I have for them here today in this series. This is an absolute shellacking of a best of 5 by Top Esports.
Yeah. Not quite the day we were expecting from both series.
No.
But
in fact, it's the opposite. It's the opposite results on both sides. Another final chapter comes down. Clid not going to blow the ulti just yet. Another Death Realm comes in. Is now JackeyLove. He might struggle to survive this one. So Life does take him down. Now Clid throws out the ulti, saves his Mordekaiser, and that is the best they've done. Oh. There's the ult. Lands onto 3 if you count the Yuumi, and there goes Knight. They've gotten rid of so much of the damage. A couple of 80 carries. Still left alive. Rascal diving in. He's got the Relentless Pursuit. Now the Culling's doing work. Onto 369. Flash forward from the Lucian. We see that so many times. It's not what you want to see. Is now Ruler, the last man standing. This could still just be the aces. Look at them zoomies. They are named very correctly.
Why,
Mr. Valdez
Why?
says Ruler's going to go down.
Why'd they have to pick Lucian?
That's why Lucian was in the doghouse as far as the marriage was concerned, by the way.
Yeah, now he's
too
just
many
kicked out of the
flashes
house.
forward. Why do you just keep flashing forward all the time? This whole marriage.
You never protect me from the scary purple lady. Oh, man.
Oh,
that was a good fight, though, by Gen.G. I mean, for the beginning.
they killed Knight
Yeah.
and JackeyLove.
Yeah, you can see here the idea is pretty nice. So Life is like, okay, we catch JackeyLove. I can 1v1 him even though I'm down 2 levels. That's what Mordekaiser does. The isolation. And you're thinking, okay, 5v4, let's start. The ultimate here from the Kindred. Really nice. But then BDD begins to say, I want to smurf. I want to be the guy that people remember from the series. He's the one that gets Knight into the back line. And from here, you know, a trade of 2 for 2 is actually a win for Gen.G. And you gotta know that you can't flash a barrel. You can't flash against a Yuumi. You have to know that there's more sustain, there's more where that's coming from, because it never ends when you're up against Gangplank Yuumi, right?
And you don't need to flash.
Yeah.
Did you see him relentless pursuit immediately after the flash?
Yeah.
Maybe do the E button first. I don't know.
You gotta have a little bit more poise in that situation. Obviously, emotions running high as they're finally winning fights.
Yeah,
and all that good stuff. And they're like, oh, this is my moment. But at the same time, you know, there's not even an objective on the map. It's just kind of unnecessary. And so it was a good play by BDD. I feel like BDD's really trying hard. He hasn't given up yet. And he's going to be looking for more plays like that. And the game isn't over if he can land, you know, 2 or 3 more of those.
Well, as we're seeing, top Esports continue to show. Not a turret, sorry, inhibited turret. Still yet to be taken down with a cannon barrage that should be able to provide the space in order to grab this inhibitor if they would like it. Rascal off to the side. And Light trying to get in position to put down the death round. This inhibitor might actually survive given the Sun turret's positioning, but no, top Esports just take down the inhib. Now look towards Nexus turrets potentially after this free top inhibitor is going to be taken. Another 5 minutes on both of those. Baron going to be up again in a minute 20. Actually, no, it's still there for another minute 20. They just managed to take it. As there's bullet time.
Okay.
May as well use it.
It's just a celebration, you know?
Yeah. Looks like a TFT misfortune. Okay. Now she's going to be picked up and thrown back as Ruler gets taken down in the meantime. BDD is going to die there as Clid does have ulti, just hasn't decided to use it just yet. Eventually puts it up as Karsa wanders on in. They're like, is this the circle of fun? And yes, if you're a top esports fan, it absolutely is. Clid managing to bait a few people into some unfortunate situations there as the prowling projectile almost enough to kill Clid on his fountain. But this is it. This is the top esports 3-0 shellacking. 24 minutes, 25 minutes, 32.5 minutes in order to take down Gen.G. It was not even close. And absolutely, top esports looked like the best LPL team on the day.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Top esports by far seemed to be the best team here in this tournament. And man, they proved it here in this series. They outdrafted, outplayed at every turn Gen.G in this best of 5 in the 3-0. It was just there are so many negative things we can say to say that, you know, Gen.G got clapped basically, as top esports were just way too much of a match for them. It's unfortunate for people who did want to see the LCK versus LPL final, who did want to see Gen.G succeed, but that is not the case. As top esports it was like taking candy from a baby, just snatched it away. It's like, no, sit down.
Yeah, they absolutely did. They were swatted. I believe that Gen.G swatted like a fly in this particular match. I was expecting so much more from these guys, to be honest, and I know we're sounding a little bit like disappointed parents right now, but that's how it feels when any team doesn't perform up to the potential that you know they have, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I did to my parents for a very long time in my life. Eventually turned it around, and hopefully Gen.G can also turn it around as well as we move into the summer split of the LCK. But for this tournament, it's still going, and now Top Esports are going to be up against the 2019 World Champions in FPX, who also secured their position. They did it after losing the blind pick match and then coming back with their 3-0 in the pick and ban. So I think that FPX today certainly looked a bit shaky, but they did have a lot of fortitude, a lot of tenacity. Top Esports just had a lot more skill than their opponents. What that means for the final, we'll have to find out when it's happening. But so far, I mean, Top Esports just looked really, really good. Karsa, absolutely fantastic as well, even making picks that some analysts would have us believe are not great. Like, I thought his Rek'Sai was fantastic. I think that blind picking Trundle shows a lot of, like, I just want my team to win, you know? That's not picking for you having fun. No. That's picking for the team.
It seemed like they had a plan as well, going for the eventual Yuumi that was coming out, and it was almost like Gen.G was reading that, and they're like, okay, we're going to pick Mordekaiser, right? The Yuumi was picked after the Mordekaiser, if you remember. So it was like they were kind of doing a good job of, like, reading each other, but at every turn it seemed like, you know, you remember Game 1, the draft win easily to Top Esports. Game 3 as well. Game 2, I think the draft was like the closest we had. And, you know, there was only one good moment with Ruler popping off the one time. Other than that, it was just like straight up getting outplayed.
Yeah, and I mean, Clid here manages to get the ult, right, keep himself alive for a bit of time, but this is the first kill that Knight manages to get. Then he'll get another one, then he'll get another one. Life was able to show us why the Mordekaiser was picked, right? Because with Yuumi, it's hard to cast the you and me if you're nowhere near the person, but I don't know, man. It did just feel like they just got straight up outplayed and cleared a little bit late there on that ulti, which is another kill for Knight. Knight outplaying B2D, forcing out the ultimate, and then Gen.G getting split. Looked like the mentality wasn't necessarily there, the teamwork wasn't there. Maybe there's a bit of tilt. And sort of like up and down, not exactly great from Gen.G. However, the opposite is definitely true from Top Esports.
You know, when you get a bottle of Coca-Cola, you got some Pepsi, or not Pepsi, you got some pizza, and you're like, I really want to drink some Coke with this.
Yeah.
And you open it up, and you don't hear that sound, and you take a sip, and it's totally flat.
Oh, no!
That's kind of what I felt watching Gen.G today. They came out flat.
Flat cola.
They just didn't, you know, they never really excited us with their drafts, with their play. And as you said, I think come summertime, they'll be back in action, but today was not their day. And it felt like the absolute opposite for Top Esports. I feel like they looked much better today even than they did
100%
the other day.
Yeah.
They came out today swinging.
Well, I thought
we were here to take names today, you know?
I absolutely thought that this was going to be Gen.G's game to take. Remember, Top Esports, yes, it was a 5-game series, but they lost to JD Gaming in the final of the LPL. And Gen.G in their first game against JD, like, made them look like Gen.G was much better, right?
Yeah.
Even compositionally, they were able to outmuscle them with a comp that was much more difficult to play, things like that. Yesterday's Gen.G would have been a lot better here, but it feels like day one's Top Esports doesn't exist anymore, and they've ascended, as you were talking about, and they looked much, much better. To Rascal's credit, he finally did damage in this game, but it was not quite enough to get them over the line. No. Top Lucian is absolutely 100% a bait. I'm sure of that now.
Yeah, we need to stop picking Top Lucian.
Yeah, we should.
That needs to be the next thing.
I should learn that.
We
too.
stopped
Not just
picking Lee Sin.
Yeah. Well, we sort of did. We saw one
in the LCK.
Was it day one? Was it day one that we had a player play Lee Sin?
Yeah, we had some Lee Sin.
We had some Lee Sin
today and the other days, but at the LCK, it's like stop picking Lee Sin. We stopped picking Lucian top. And if Knight didn't pick up this player of the game, I would have just, we would have
flipped the desk,
dropped the headset, and said, "I'm out of here."
Yep, donezo.
This guy single-handedly at times was carrying his team, and I mean, if you didn't know about Knight, now you know.
Yeah,
and you're only going to be seeing more, right? Like
And as a left-hander, I just feel really happy
Yeah.
that Knight exists.
Golden left hands.
He is absolutely making us look much better than we should. Really, because which hand is dominant probably doesn't make much
get a
of
bad
a difference.
name.
Yeah, they don't get a bad rap here.
Yeah.
As us left-handers don't have great handwriting the majority of the time.